statements. The next step for a judge in a normal case would be to order imprisonment, end quote. Joining me now is the former United States Attorney Carol Lam. She is an MSNBC legal analyst. Carol, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Ali.
Carol, you were a judge, and this is actually complicated. Charlie puts it, simply, but yes, the first step wouldn't be to order the arrest of Donald Trump. It would be to possibly warn him. The second step might be to impose a fine. Then what actually happens? Because I believe nobody wants to be the judge that sends someone to arrest Donald Trump for a tweet or for something he said at a speech.
Well, you're right about that, Ali, and you're also right that when you become a judge, the first thing they tell you is don't do what you see on TV. Don't bang the gavel and say you're in contempt and I'm throwing you in prison. I mean, that just doesn't happen. You have due process rights as a criminal defendant with respect to orders like this. I think one of the problems is with the word gag order. It sort of implies that you're putting a gag over a person's mouth and they can't say anything. That's not the case here. What Jack Smith is requesting, based on Donald Trump's prior behavior, is he's requesting a sort of restraint of extrajudicial statements, it's actually called. It's an order saying, look, you just can't do what you've been doing, which is basically threatening or calling upon others to take some sort of retaliatory action against court personnel, potential jurors, witnesses, parties, lawyers, that sort of thing. So that's what we have here. But in terms of enforcement of any restrictive order that the judge may impose, I actually think there are a few things that she could do. Certainly, she could impose a monetary fine. She could say, I'm going to impose a fine of X dollars the first time you violate my order. It'll double if you do it again. It'll triple if you do it again. If that doesn't work, she could go another path. She could say, I'm actually going to require you, and this was done with Elon Musk in a civil case, before you say anything on social media, you have to run it by your lawyers. And that has actually been upheld, albeit in a civil case. It's been upheld by an appellate court. So that's another possibility, is that she could put his attorneys on the hot seat as officers of the court. So that's
interesting. That's not a First Amendment violation. It's not saying you can't say what you want, but run it through a filter to make sure that you're not breaking any laws in saying things, because Donald Trump associates all this with stifling of his speech. But that's not actually what Jack Smith is asking for. And when you read that indictment, it says on the second page of the indictment, Donald Trump had a right to deny the election. He had a right to lie about the election. He had a right to seek redress about the outcome of the election. But there's
absolutely right.
You're saying there's something very specific here. Jack Smith's not interested in curtailing Donald Trump's free speech rights.
He's not interested in curtailing his First Amendment free speech rights, but he is very interested in maintaining the sanctity, the respect,